Hey, what's going on, y'all? So, last night's episode of When the Hunt Calls didn't go off exactly as planned, all right? So, my guest, Christian Williams of Archery Strong, had kind of a little bit of a scheduling conflict, so he wasn't able to join me till really late. But surprisingly enough, the first hour of the show was awesome as I got the opportunity to have a conversation with a bunch of different people on Instagram Live. You know, we talked about deer sterilization. We talked about archery. We talked about hunting in general. You know, the logistics of my potential hunt this fall. We talked sneakers. We talked hip hop. It was really, really cool. And then the last 30 minutes of the show was my actual interview with Christian. So if you check out my Instagram Live, I've got two posts. The first hour being the conversation I had with all those people, and then the second part of it is my conversation with Christian. So check it out. Y'all have a blessed day, y'all. Nothing much, Brandon. What's going on with you? Oh, Brandon, I gotta say, man. All right, for those of you who don't know, Brandon is on here as the hunting student. If you guys aren't following him, check him out. Brandon, I'm becoming a huge fan of your gear reviews. So it's pretty cool. I'm really enjoying them, learning a lot about the gear that you're using. Apex Predator says he has not finished his Whitetail Fit program from Christian for the day. How are you enjoying his program overall? Like, really good? Nice. Alex was with a Doomsday Prepper from National Geographic Season 1. Wow. Alright. Nice. But how'd you handle that heat though, Alex? I know that had to be crazy. Apex says the Performance Archer program saved your shoulder. You know what's funny is I'm having some issues. It's funny with my shoulder myself. I'm not shooting this week, and depending how I feel, the start of next week will determine whether or not I kind of just relax a little bit more, a little bit longer, or just not shoot as much. But I figured I'd ask Chris about it tonight. All right. Alex says I'm genetically different. Hold on. Did I miss a comment before that? But not much got done. But Alex, what was the goal though, being out there with that guy? Like, what were you guys trying to do? Well, you know what? I did see a couple of your posts. One in particular was in regards to I can't remember what it was exactly, but this little white substance or like a block that you were able to light, and it's kind of like a sure thing you were talking about in terms of getting a fire started. Thought that was pretty cool. If you want to share with everybody what that was. What's up, Black Sight Archery? Just started following Black Sight Archery. Pretty cool content. Keelan Hodges, what's going on? Ah, copy that. He wants to hunt. But alright. I feel you. Alright, Bjorn, thanks for that. I appreciate it, man. I thought he was in the same time zone, as me, so hopefully, you know what I'm saying, it's just that he's having a hard time with his schedule, because I believe Christian is training tonight, and so he did, like I said, he was pretty cool. We were doing our best to accommodate each other, because I really wanted to get him on and speak to him. Fitness is or trying to stay fit or decently fit is a huge thing for me. I don't know about you guys, but as a husband and a father, and working the hours that I work, is difficult I don't want to say stay in shape, because I'm not necessarily in the best of shape, but I definitely, want to be better, or be around what a 43-year-old guy should be around. A decent weight, saying decent fitness. Bloodline Tradition says it just bought AccuBow for a wife to get stronger and better form. Bloodline, one of the things I wanted to know though, are you guys shooting trad bows or compound? Only because somebody had brought up the point that whether or not it was really effective for compound bow shooters, being that with compound bows we're only drawing that full draw weight for what, a couple of seconds, split second, and then after that it's a fraction of that. So with the AccuBow, whatever the tension, whatever draw weight you have that set at, is going to be that way continuously. Let me know what your thoughts are, if you want to share with everybody on right now, with everybody that's on right now, or DM me. I wouldn't mind that. Team MDE just joined as well. Team MDE, I don't know your name. If everybody wants to, while you're on here, share your first name. Let's get on a first name basis. For those of you who don't know, my name is Cliff Cadet. 43-year-old dude, Christian husband, father of 3, living out here in New York City, Queens, New York to be exact. Apex says AccuBow does help you build some strength on your draw for holding. Alright, that's cool. Team MD, Britain. Alright, cool. Nice to meet you, brother. Blacksite Archery, Jamar. Nice to meet you, Jamar, Britain. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This is, I honestly don't know if we're on episode 5 or 6 of When the Hunt Calls. But just to give you a heads up, what we might do is just so we get a full hour with Chris. What's going on, Jesse? EJ, when Christian just does hop on, might log off real quick, just because Instagram Live only gives you 1 hour, so we might just hop off, start the live over again, just so we can get the chance at an hour, if it does go that long. Bloodline says yes, it is longer and harder pull, but it lets you hold heavier weight longer. That's really cool. Good to know. Good to know. I've definitely seen a lot of people posting about their AccuBows and how it's helping them out. Hey Jamar, because I think I just started following you today, I believe, and you hit me right back too with a follow. I appreciate that. Can you tell me, I guess, what you're about? Because somebody also recommend. I think I started following you because someone else recommended that put it out there that we should follow you, I believe. If you want to share with everybody, I guess, what you're doing with Blacksite Archery. What's going on, Al? What's going on, Gobble, New York? Bjorn, did the heat break? Yes, it did. We were in like low to mid 70s today. It rained last night. There was a couple really bad rainstorm last night. A couple of blackouts throughout certain areas in Queens, but But everybody got their power back for the most part, as far as I know. And then rained again this morning, but everything cooled down. It was, like I said, for the most part today, low to mid 70s. Nice, enjoyable day. So Blacksite Archery, Jamar. I'm a rookie bow hunter in Oregon, originally from Texas. Nice, and looking to share your journey as well. Appreciate you, brother. No Fear 317. Welcome. Oh, all right. So that's what it was. It was Jay. That's right, Jamar. J-Met, Kong Valley, was the one that posted on his page to go ahead and give you a follow, and I did. So, all right. We've got Long Island Bow Hunter on. What's going on, sir? That is Mr. Ted Wallace. All right. For those of you who are not familiar with Long Island Bow Hunter, Mr. Wallace is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ted. You can definitely jump in and correct me, but Ted was or is a New York City detective, and he's out from Long Island, and he is a hunter. He is the owner of Real Rack Life, and he is a cast member on the Sons of Fall, so that's pretty cool. He is going to be a guest next week, so I get to pick his brain about being a New Yorker and being a hunter. So it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to interviewing Ted. All right. Black Site Archery. All right, Jonathan's childhood buddy, all about growth positivity. Definitely seen that a lot with him. I love Jonathan's picks from when he's out in the field. Pretty cool. So, you know what? Let's see. Game On Outdoors just started following me. Appreciate that. Game On Outdoors. J Wall is on. What's up, J Wall? For those of you who don't know, J Wall is a dope hip hop head. I believe it was J Wall I was chatting with the other day. We were going back and forth about some old school hip hop that we were both really into. So it was pretty fun to kind of talk about something other than hunting with another hunter. A couple of hip hop heads out here in the hunting community. It's pretty cool to know. Tupac for life. Yes. You know what? I love me some Tupac, but I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised, so for me it's Biggie. All right, Biggie all the way. All right, Game On Outdoors. Oh, you're coming up here to New York City for the first time ever. I get in a couple of weeks from New Mexico. Nice. Well, hope you have a good time, brother. Yo, hit me up when you get up here, man. If I can what do you call it? Say what's up. What do you call it? Give you a few pointers, tell you what to hit up, what not to hit up. Please, just feel free to DM me. Yes, Notorious. That's how it is. Yes, Bloodline. That's how it is. All right. You know what? While we're waiting on Christian, anybody got any questions for me? You know what I'm saying? Hunting related, not hunting related. I don't know if you guys know anything about me, know what's going on. Oh, Rose Mystic Sinew Bows is on. For those of you, if you get a chance tonight, when you guys get off my IG live, go to Rose Mystic Sinew Bows, right? Follow this brother right here. This is a brother from Jersey, from Dirty Jersey, all right? And he makes his own bows. He shoots them, in his backyard and whatnot, doing trick shots and whatnot. It is awesome. He has some awesome content. Check him out. Gobble New York asked if I have turkey hunted. For those of you who don't know, I have yet to hunt, period. I haven't turkey hunted, I haven't deer hunted, I haven't bear hunted. So it's this everything I'm doing right now is I'm really just picking people's brains. I'm really hoping to be out there this fall deer hunting. That's really my goal. I want my first hunt to be a deer hunt, and then deer and turkey season just about the same time out here. I believe, if I'm correct. If I'm wrong, Alex, please correct me. Thanks, Alan. And then if I'm able to punch a tag, then my focus will be on getting some gobblers. If not, in New York we have spring season, so that's what I'll be looking forward to. Let's see. Somebody else asked me something. What kind of bow do I shoot? Game On Outdoors asked, what kind of bow do I shoot? I actually just switched up. I am shooting an Elite Ritual 33, and I am extremely happy with it. Super happy with it. It's a huge step up from what I was shooting before. Thank you, Alex. I'm sorry I keep bouncing around, guys, but thank you, Alex. Alex says turkey is in the middle of deer season. So, like I said, if I am blessed enough to punch a tag, then what do you call it? I'll definitely be focusing on some turkey. Rose asks, do I eat deer? Yes, it's been a long time since I have, but I have eaten venison. I've had elk, both great meats. So I'm looking forward to eating them again. Bloodline asks, the other day you lost a fletch shooting. Did you decide to refletch yourself or have you somebody do it for you? Honestly, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. I've been watching a lot of Eastern archery stuff on how to fletch your arrows. And I might do them myself, just to at least try it. And because I have not an old set, but I have a dozen arrows that I'm not necessarily using, because I also upgraded the arrows that I'm using to I'm shooting Eastern Archery FMJs now. The ones before were like a $20 dozen that I got from a big box store. So those I think are ones that I can I'd rather practice on first before I mess around with my MJs and FMJs and possibly mess them up. So like I said, I'm gonna practice fletching on the old set first before I actually fix the fletching on that one, because I've got a dozen FMJs, hopefully more coming soon. So alright, let's see. Game On says gonna be hunting mule deer and elk this year. Yes, elk is the bomb. Booger Holler Pro Staff asks if I will be urban hunting this year. Nah, New York doesn't have that urban archery, urban hunting initiative that you see out in states like Virginia and Washington D.C. and stuff like that. For those, I mean, you guys probably know more than I do about it, but from what I understand, that urban archery, that urban hunting initiative is about basically curbing the deer population that's gotten out of hand and is out and destroying people's property. In New York City, that is not an issue, except for possibly out in Long Island, which is way out east, outside of the 5 boroughs, and possibly Staten Island, I've been told. So you can't hunt in NYC or Nassau County. Totally knew that. It's out in Suffolk County that you can hunt. I am Marquise. Marquise, what's going on, brother? How are you? Alright. For those of you who don't know, Marquise is the owner of True Visions Camel. He developed his own camel pattern, which is pretty awesome. You guys should check him out. His personal page is the I Am Marquise Coast that you see right there, and then his camel page is True Visions Camel. Really cool, real positive brother. So you guys should definitely check him out. Let's see. I'm gonna call you Booger for short, just because it's a cool nickname. But yeah, I've heard about the whole sterilization of the deer that they're talking about, and it's so what do you call it? Crazy that they'd rather do that. I know there's Alex, that there's no hunting in Staten Island because there's no hunting in New York City at all. But I didn't know that they tranquilized the bucks and wow, and then just like we were talking about, and sterilizing them. That sucks. But that is crazy. Let's see. 20,000 deer. 20,000 deer out. Hold on, 20,000 a deer? Please elaborate, Alex. I'm not sure if you're saying it's like 20,000 a deer. Hey, Marquise, on here also just commented, that's my cousin. Banner _28_ is actually my cousin. And he's inquiring about, whoa, Alex, you mean $20,000 fine Dang, bro. All right, that is crazy. All right. No, cost of procedure to sterilize $1 in the state or in New York City is $20,000. So this New York City would rather pay $20,000 to sterilize $1 as opposed to allowing us to hunt them. Oh, you got to be kidding me! You got to be kidding me! Ah, all right. So, so Mr. Isaac Ailman just joined us, and he asked me who's my favorite Wu-Tang member. My favorite Wu-Tang member is Method Man. Method Man. And then of course a close second is RZA. And then you got Jizza after that. But yep. That, yes. See, Jamar gets it. Jamar gets it. Method Man, homie. Method Man. METHOD. You guys gonna have me singing the whole discography in right here, right now. But what do you call it? Yeah, so it's crazy, Alex, man. 20,000 to sterilize a buck, as opposed to just like Brandon said, just putting tags, making tags available for guys to go out there and hunt them. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Jeff? How you doing, brother? Marquis says he was on tour with Wu-Tang. That's another story. Nah, brother, you just opened up a can. You're gonna have to make it short and sweet and tell us. Oh yes, my cousin Banner 28. I don't know how I forgot. Ghostface, Raekwon, yes, RZA. Jeff says he's doing homework for his truck build. Nice. All right. Isaac Ailman asks, what is my favorite Jordan? All right. My favorite Jordan, let me see. All right. Is actually, no, it's up here. Is it? Dang, where are they? Sorry, guys. I've just been called back to something that is one of my favorites. Other than this, hunting is new to me. So my favorite Jordans are actually, I'm gonna have to climb, and I hope I don't fall. For those of you who don't know, we are in my bedroom. All right. So since we're off the topic of hunting, these are my favorite J's. 19 patent leathers. All right. Since I'm not that very experienced in hunting, I could definitely talk about sneakers. See? Nah. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, I'm a big fan of Air Jordan sneakers. So I do like the 11s. I got a pair of Concord 11s. I have the Winlight 96s as well. Alright. Oh, Jamar likes the taxis. Alright. Nice. Alright. 4s, 5s, and 6s. I peeped you when you were copping that fire when you were out in I think you took a family trip. I can't remember where it was, but you copped some fire pairs while you were out there. Oh no, Booger, I'm sorry, brother. Cowboy boots and I'll ditch the shoes? I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. You know what? I will try on the cowboy boots, but I don't know. Marquise, yes. 13s are another one of my favorites. 13s, I usually like the Flint 13s, Red 13s. What else? What other 13s? Apex says he's rocking with Air Forces for life. Apex, I know you bought you copped those the Realtree Air Forces. I remember. I think you had posted those. Those Realtree joints were fire. I like those. Isaac Jr. says cowboy boots equal coming. Oh, I'm not even saying that. And Banner 28 again, who's my cousin. He says he'll pay to see me in cowboy boots. Nope, that's not happening. Alex, nah, not 13 gauge, but 13 number 13 Jordans. My another cousin of mine just joined. That's Clive C. Brother's coming all the way out of Miami. All right. Any questions you guys have? Potentially for Christian if he ever hops on. Let's see, because I know I was curious to know about. I just guess. Let's see. Hang on. Oh, Isaac's asking how are the FMJs? They are A-OK. I upgraded from some. I could go to the other side of my bedroom and actually pull them out, but I'm not, because I had to climb through a whole bunch of stuff to get them. But I was shooting like this $20 box of arrows from a big box store, and kept peeling back the fletching basically every time I shot. I was shooting pretty tight groups. So I upgraded to FMJs, Eastern Archery FMJs, and they are awesome. 5mm FMJs. I swear, I don't think my arrows have flown truer. I've got to order another set because I really want to work on fletching. I know I spoke about practicing fletching my arrows on the old set. But then again, just the other day, I happened to take off the fletching on one of my FMJs, and FMJs don't come cheap. So I've got to order. I want to order all the fletching equipment from Easton that I've seen that's available. Work on my stuff, get that jig, just a lot of equipment. It's something that somebody once told me when I first started shooting archery, was that archery is an expensive sport. One, it's expensive because you got to figure out what you like. So you're going to try out a bunch of different things. Like, for example, when I first got my bow, I had a 4-pin sight on it. I switched up to a 1-pin sight. That cost bread. I switched from a whisker biscuit rest to a drop away rest. That cost bread. Then, of course, switching up arrows. That cost bread. But, when you really want to get better at something, a lot of times, you got to spend the bread. Or even if it's not just getting better at it, but just learning what you're comfortable with, or what you like, what you prefer. You got to spend the money to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Who else? Black Sight says yes, it does add up. Get a Bitson burger for fletching. All right, I'll look into that. Thanks, True West. Alex asked, all right, so what is my biggest concern regarding hunting? Honestly, my biggest concern is, and I think we've spoken about this before, it's family related. I've been in a number of situations before. I don't want to say it's similar to hunting, but high pressure situations before. So I feel like I'd be able to handle myself out in the wild with the appropriate level of knowledge, which, thanks to Alex and a lot of people on here, I've been picking a lot of people's brains. But being that this is the first time I'm undertaking this adventure, I just don't want it to have to leave a bad, I don't want it to be a bad experience for my family. I don't want it to be something that be like, oh, dad's going hunting again, stuff like that. Or or for my kids to be able to say, oh, dad's going hunting, he doesn't want to hang out with us. I know that's pretty dramatic, but that's really my only fear regarding, or my biggest concern regarding hunting, is the impact taking on such an activity is just going to have on my family. Because I'm really big on family, I'm really big on my faith, so I don't want hunting to have a negative impact on my family. I've had real great support and feedback from my wife. I've had real great support from my kids. So it's just a matter of juggling, like I said, a new hobby, a new adventure for me, that really no one I know personally, or that's really close to me and my family, has taken part in. So it's really new to my family. So really taking on this adventure and making it something that my family would, if they can't grow to love it themselves, at least be able to support me in it. That's really my biggest concern. Thanks for asking that, Alice. Jamar from Black Site asked, what style release do I shoot? I just shoot a wrist strap release, a mechanical release like that. I've been thinking about switching to the thumb trigger. I don't know much about those. That was actually going to be my topic for next week, because if you guys don't know, every Tuesday I put out a topic out there asking you guys to weigh in on different things, and so releases are gonna be a big thing. If you guys tell me what type of releases do you guys shoot? Let's see. See, Jamar from Blackside Archery was talking about his whole family, what do you call it, goes hunting. So that's pretty cool. See, I could totally respect how, the thing about hunting, alright, is I totally get it. It's I've had to think and develop new ideas on things, and then kind of cancel that out as I learn more and more information, because to be honest, like growing up where I grew up, alright, hunting wasn't even a thought. It was something that people of color didn't necessarily do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily saying I come from the hood, but my friends, my family, like I said, don't hunt. Alright? So but I was aware of the fact that, there were people out there who hunted. And for me, I thought hunters were two types of people. There were people who hunted because it really was their way of life. It was their way of surviving. It was their way of feeding their family. All right. Then I thought the other group was people from money, people people with privilege who hunted just for the sport of it, because they're like, hey, I'm going on safari next week. I'm gonna take down a rhino or something like that. That I know it's kind of ignorant, but I know I'm not the only person that thinks that way or has thought that way in the past, but I've long since realized that it's not like that. There may be some people out there still, but it's not like that now. But it's really cool. I kind of envy those who come from a hunting family, because it's something that's being passed on to you from generation to generation. I'm hoping this is something that I can start within my family, because my youngest son is 7 years old, and archery is something that he's actually kind of taken to. He likes it. I've had a couple of conversations with him talking about just making sure that he understands that me going hunting means I'll be taking the life of an animal and harvesting it, and he seems to have grasped that and is cool with that. Now, whether or not my family's gonna partake in the meal that I'm able to cook, what I'm saying, I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, Alex, I totally get it. You're of color, and most of your hunting buddies are colored folk. I get it. I totally understand. But understand that we're probably coming from two different places, two different backgrounds. And I'm not necessarily, because I believe you're from the Five Boroughs as well. But I just thought it's weird. Like, for me, it was weird, but awesome to have met somebody like you, and then awesome to have met Brandon. Brandon Ramos was my first guest on When the Hunt Calls, and he is from Brooklyn, and he hunts. You know what I'm saying? So it was awesome to learn that. You know what I'm saying? And slowly but surely, I'm meeting more and more people. Apex says, coming from Harlem, that's how he thought too. You know what I'm saying? If I were to go out right now down the block and talk to a couple of buddies of mine or whatever and start talking about hunting, it'd be like talking Greek to them, and not necessarily because it's not a topic they're not familiar with. It's just something that it's just not necessarily seen, within an urban area. But though more and more I'm learning, there are a lot of hunters in New York City. It's just a matter of reaching out to them, learning what they know, and stuff like that. So, Jamar says he grew up in Houston. So Houston is a pretty big city. I know that. Is there a large hunting community out in Houston? I know in Texas as a whole, there's a pretty big hunting community. But in Houston, what's the hunting scene like? I definitely agree, Alice. There's definitely find more hunters outside the city. Oh, so not really much of a hunting population in Houston. All right. So, but I mean, that's the dope thing about social media, though. Is when I first let's see, I created this Instagram account back on. I can tell you the date because I was actually just looking at it the other day, January 15th. All right. And it was more so I could, what do you call it? Just learn about archery. And then as I was looking at more and more accounts, I started learning, started seeing people and hunting, and just felt kind of a calling, if you will. And that was really where I decided, I want to hunt. I want to learn about it. And then through social media, through Instagram, I linked up with a whole bunch of you guys, and you guys have been awesome. Awesome for me in that I've been able to learn, so much. So thank you for all of you who've been willing to share the information, and I hope the information I'm learning, and I've got like a notebook with notes that's ridiculous, with the amount of notes that I have in it. So I'm hoping to take everything that I've learned out into the woods with me. So let's see. Benjamin Stronger says, man of color didn't grow up hunting but always had the love. Just help them appreciate the love you have and know why you are hunting. Don't force them to like it. Plan a pro. Yes, I totally agree. What we've been doing, Benjamin, is actually my wife and I instituted. We have a weekly family meeting. So what we do is my wife, myself, the kids, we sit down in the living room, and we've been talking about not only what I plan on doing, but also what they plan on doing, because my daughter's going off to middle school this fall. You know what I'm saying? So there's different transitions going on within our family. So we're sitting down, and we have a family meeting every week to kind of plan the week, set expectations, and it's an opportunity also for me to kind of just plant the seed, let the kids know what I'm doing, not only for the week but in the coming months, just so they have an understanding, like when daddy's gone for a day or possibly for a weekend or something like that, what daddy's doing. You know what I'm saying? Alex says he was with a black doomsday prepper Saturday from Harlem. Cool. And he hunts. Yeah, my dude, but that's not the norm. I wish it was, but Booger says, as a white dude, how can we get more inner city kids involved in hunting? I mentor youth, but it's always white rural kids. My fiance is a minority and started hunting 2 years ago with me. That's awesome that you can share that with your fiance, man. Alright, so personally, so Urban Archery NYC originally began as me just wanting to share my journey, in archery and wanting to hunt. Then it has slowly evolved in this short time to me wanting to actually build a brand that will be synonymous with encouraging anyone and everyone to hunt, but with the focus being on people of color from urban areas. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping to lead by example, but the difficulty for me has been logistics. You know what I'm saying? And when I say lead by example, I'm meaning I want to be able to do, like, for example, Brandon, the hunting student. I'll tell you right now, you're a huge inspiration, brother. I get to see you get out there, as often as you can into the woods. I watch your stuff. I look at your content, your gear reviews, and that's what I want to do. Alex, which is I don't know if I've put the name with the account, but Alex is at 0 feet per second. Alex is a guide, a New York State certified guide, who lives, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's originally from the five boroughs, but currently lives outside the five boroughs, and he hunts. He's got a great amount of knowledge, a vast amount of knowledge of the hunting land, around New York City, outside of New York City, and further up into the Adirondacks, I believe. And so now for me, the issue is logistics. So how do I, a husband and father of three, find who works, anywhere from 45 to 55 hours a week, you know what I'm saying, juggle my family commitment with this new like I said, this new thing I want to do. That's the thing. I just don't want it to have a negative impact on my family. So unfortunately, one of the things I think Alex can attest to, or even Brandon, like I said, that was the dude that was the first guest on the show, is living in the five boroughs. Even if you lived in the suburbs of the five boroughs of New York City, even if you got out of work at 5 p.m., you can't get to the woods, get to the outdoors really within 5-10 minutes. That's not possible. And if I'm lying, if I'm wrong, I welcome anyone to tell me that I'm wrong. And then you add to that the fact that I have my wife, I have my kids. So now I'm getting done with work, I get done with work anywhere from 6 to 8 o'clock every night. That's when I actually punch out, anywhere between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. at night. You know what I'm saying? So the time to get out to the woods and stuff like that, I don't have that. So then now I have my weekends. All right. So now I just finished working a 50-hour work week. Weekends, which are normally reserved for my family, I've got to try to budget, hunting time, hunting training time, and stuff like that. It's hard. It's difficult. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to DM me, ideas, stuff that if you've been in the same situation, you know what I'm saying, and stuff that may or may not have worked for you. Like if you want to shoot me a warning and be like, yo, do not say this to your wife. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up with that. I'd really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Hang on a second. What am I missing here? Because more comments. I'm a father of 4. You got this. I appreciate that. You'll be sniffing armpits on the subway. Basically. Yeah, so basically for me, it's just I'm having a hard time with the logistics of it, because I'll give you a perfect example. So I really want to hunt this fall. I really want to hunt with Alex at 0 feet per second, and I have a possible chance to hunt in Virginia with Bjorn, Imperfect Human. Shout out to him as well. Apex says, "Don't show my wife the receipts for gear." So I'm gonna give you guys a perfect example, a perfect scenario I'm going through. We're trying to figure out right now. So, I am possibly coaching a youth basketball team. My 7-year-old son, youth basketball team this fall. So that will mean practicing one day during the week, and then one game on either a Saturday or Sunday. All right. So that means I've got to I've got to figure out how I can fit in the hunting time. All right. So that means if my son's game is on a Sunday, I could possibly go out to the field for a Saturday, all day Saturday. And if it's the game's on a Saturday, I could possibly do the same thing on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what I'm dealing with, because my son is playing on a competitive team for the first time. I don't want to miss that. I don't want to look at my son and be like, hey, I missed your game because I went hunting. Like, I appreciate Benjamin. I hear you. It's not new to hunters. It's just new. It's because it's my first time. But I figure my goal is to this season leave as little of a negative impact on my family as possible, with this, so that way next season will possibly be a little bit easier. It won't be totally new to them, and it's something easier for them to, to understand what daddy's going to do. And then as my son gets older, you know, have him. I know 12 years old is the legal hunting age in New York. So if I'm lucky, in another 5 years, my little man will be big enough and willing enough to come out to the woods and hunt with me. Because 5 years from now, I still want to be doing this. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically it, man. I'd love to head out to Ohio again. All about logistics, but to be told, I really want to hunt my state first, before I go out anywhere else hunting. I was possibly thinking of VA only because, one, Bjorn has been an awesome mentor, especially with information and stuff like that. Just like Alex. Alex has been another great mentor. You know what? Let me do shout outs right now. Bjorn, Imperfect Human, Alex, who's at 0 feet per second, Adam Edwards, aka Adam Keith _ check him out. Adam Bryant III, AB3, who is at official Bryantland. Guys have been awesome mentors, answering a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying? And now you guys, I can add to the mix because, you know what I'm saying? Look at that. Adam Keith just jumped on and I just shouted him out. What do you call it? A lot of these guys that I'm naming, from the start, from when I first got on, I'm doing well, Adam. I hope you're doing well too. From when I first got on Instagram, we're probably like, yo, who is this kid that's asking me all these questions all of a sudden? And that was me, man. That was me. So Black Site, Jamar, check out all these guys that are on here, man, are all good people. So, check them out. And follow them, and because they'll follow you right back, bro. It's not one of, and then if you have any questions about them, or any questions you want to ask them, they're really cool. Oh, for those of you who are on right now, my boy Adam Keith _ he's right there right now. Check him out on YouTube. He's got a dope fishing video on there. Check out the video, click subscribe, and while you're on YouTube, check my YouTube account out. Say Urban Archery NYC. I got a couple of videos up there, especially past episodes of When the Hunt Calls. Booger asks, have I done any shooting from a stand yet? Unfortunately, no. I don't have a stand. I don't own one yet. I'm still purchasing gear. Of course, I've got my bow. I got my arrows. I don't have broadheads yet. I don't have a backpack. I got camo. I've got some Under Armour camo. I've got some pants. I've got some boots. I think next on my list is a pack. And what else? A pack, and really that's about it. Nothing really crazy. You know what I'm saying? But if all of you guys are on here, man, you'll scroll through the list of everybody that hopped on this Instagram live tonight. Yo, follow each other, man. Follow each other. It's an awesome community. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Alan Yates. Alan Yates was was the first dude I got on Instagram live with. We partnered up a couple of months back, and we had started Journey to the Hunt. He's continued on with it. He's on usually Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, I believe 8 o'clock Central. So check him out. So he's another one. He actually just came off of a Texas hog hunt, which he's more than willing to share, and he's going to be sharing on his Instagram live tomorrow night. So definitely check him out, because that's probably going to be awesome to learn about. But like I was saying, scroll down this list. Because there's a lot of you guys on here, real positive people that I've been lucky to come across on Instagram. I mentioned how Marquise True Vision Camos out there. Also, I didn't mention, Alex is not only a New York State guide, Alex aka at 0 feet per second, but he has also developed his own camo pattern, which he so generously, I believe, I don't know if he gave it or loaned it to Alan Yates, who I told you to check out tomorrow night. Alan Yates got to test drive, if you will, on his Texas hog hunt. So definitely check it all out. Yes, Bjorn, thanks for posting Alan's IG account, so you guys can follow him as well. Check him out. Try to get some practice from elevation while using a harness, especially if you're going to be stand hunting. I don't know if I'm going to be stand hunting. The thing is, truthfully, I know it's crazy because I've got the odds are stacked against me because it's a couple of things. I'm not getting out to the woods, which Alex has been pounding in my head that I need to get out to the woods. So pretty soon I'm actually going to sit down and probably do an Instagram live with Alex, where live for you guys to watch, you can see how we're probably going to plan out me possibly going hunting with him and training with him for a little bit. So I know I got the odds stacked against me because I haven't had any field time, even scouting in any way, shape, or form. Logistics wise, I got that against me. And then I've really fallen in love with the idea of spot and stalk. All right. It's not even so much that it just sounds cool. That's what I feel like I'm being called to do. I really want to be skilled at being able to stalk an animal and harvest it. I'm not knocking hunting from a stand, because I'm not opposed to it. I will do that as well. I really want to try my hand at stalking first. And right now, I believe if I do hunt with Bjorn in VA, it will be from a stand. But if I hunt with Alex, you know what? Let me not say if. That leaves it too much to like toss it in the wind. I'm gonna say when I hunt with Alex, it will be spot and stalk, and when I hunt with Bjorn, it will be in the stand. So that's basically it. But I really am in love with the idea. I really want to spot and stalk, because for me, I believe that's where I think everything that I've been learning, everything that I've been reading about, will put these things this knowledge that I've gained into action. And then hopefully when I get to train with Alex for a little bit, I'll get to see how I can put those skills into use out in the woods, and then actually using them when I go hunting. Alex, did the rules on public land discourage spot and stalk, or discourage using a stand? Because I know a lot of guys complain, especially with public land, you can't leave a stand out there. So I didn't know which one you were referring to. So again, I'm going to ask, the rules on our public land, do they discourage spot and stalk, or do they discourage, putting a stand up? Let me know. And we've only got 5 more minutes. And if I am lucky, maybe there was hopefully just both. Really? Dang. That sucks. Alright. So Alex, let me ask you, when we hunt together, right? Again, I'm not going to use the word if. When we hunt together, where ideally would you want us to hunt? We got 5 more minutes on Instagram before I get booted off. And what I will do is I will wait a few minutes after I log off, so that way, just in case there was a miscommunication and Christian was in a different time zone or something like that, and he was thinking 10:30, we'll see what's up. Yeah, Alex, I know we can't leave stand up, but also got it. Yes, definitely putting a stand up is still hunting. I totally agree, because there's still a huge level of skill required to putting that animal down, to harvesting that animal. Whether it's from a stand, whether it's from spotting and stalking, there's a huge level of skill. You guys already saw the post I put up from the bow hunter safety manual. It's a majority of bow hunters bow hunt because of the challenge, and it's still challenging whether it's from a stand or from the ground or from a blind. It doesn't matter. All right, guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap this up right now. All right. Um, and I'll still make this an episode of When the Hunt Calls. So that way, if you guys want to, you can go back and take a look. I'll even leave all the comments. Well, I don't know if the video is gonna show. Well, I don't know how it works. I'll try to leave all the comments up there. But you already know with Instagram Live, I'll make this available for the next 24 hours, and then basically you guys can check on all of you guys. Scroll down the list, see who was on, and everybody follow each other. Make it a follow war, if you will. All right, be like, tag, you're it. All right, and then just go from there. All right, yo, everyone, I really thank you for joining me tonight. I apologize. Hopefully, if there was a miscommunication, then you know what, I'll be back on within the next couple of minutes with Christian Williams of Archery Strong. All right, you guys, hopefully I'll see you in a few. All right, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to When the Hunt Calls. My name is Cliff Cadet, and tonight's guest is none other than Christian Williams of Archery Strong. All right. So Christian, I have been following your Instagram account for months now, and I've got to tell you, I have learned a lot, a whole lot.
Awesome.
Please tell me about yourself before we go even into Archery Strong. Please tell us about you and just, I guess, what your background is exactly. Oh
Yeah,
no,
sure. I'd be
sorry.
happy to give you a little background. So yeah, my name's Christian Williams. I'm from Western Pennsylvania, and two of my biggest passions: archery hunting and fitness, or we'll say optimizing the human body for a little bit more of a broad term. So
Got it.
my education for a while has been in the exercise science, exercise physiology realm. I have a degree in exercise physiology. I've worked numerous jobs in strength and conditioning. I spent a little over 4 years in sports injury and sports performance. More specifically, I was what's referred to as a corrective exercise specialist. And
Okay.
the idea is that it's a proactive physical therapist. So I worked with individuals, and this is the group of people I work with now for archery, but individuals who are on the verge of pain or having issues with their performance in either a sport or just daily function, and addressing the dysfunctional movement patterns and the dysfunctional mechanics that are leading them to pain or poor performance. So with Archery Strong, what I've done is applied that knowledge and applied that experience to the realm of archery, in the sense that we have the bow, right? We have arrows, broadheads, etc. Behind all of those things is a human body, and that is what I felt like what was being missed was the person or the machine behind the bow, and how we optimally address the person, address their performance, and equip them with everything they need to shoot a bow accurately, to shoot it consistently, and to shoot it well, rep after rep after rep.
All right, I like that. I especially like how you, because I mean, oftentimes, I guess, as an archer, as a hunter, you think of your bow as a machine. You don't necessarily think of yourself and your body with all its moving parts also as the machine that's operating that other machine. So I totally get that, and that's a really cool concept. I like that. Now a lot of the followers on Instagram I associate with have been singing your praises. And again, I've gotten a look at a couple of the workouts that you have on your website. Is your are your programs more, is it more to prepare, let's say, like to get fit, or is it more to prevent injury, or is it more does it service like more of a rehabilitation, like if someone got hurt already, or do you hit all aspects?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the short answer would be we hit all aspects, and that's why we have multiple programs, in the sense that they're all archery specific. So we don't offer anything really to get generally fit or generally conditioned or anything like that. They're archery specific, and we have largely two programs. One program is primarily focused on shoulder function, And by focusing on the shoulder function, that's where we relieve pain and prevent injury.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other program we have, we call it the Performance Archer. That is focused on somebody who may already have a level of fitness or level of strength and wants to do archery specific strength training to improve the performance aspects of shooting a bow, such as holding more steady, reducing pin float, increasing draw strength, or maybe just making it easier to draw a bow, maintaining your accuracy over a large accumulation of arrows. So that's the performance side there. So
Okay.
yes, we hit all aspects, and the programs are tailored so that they guide you towards each of those goals or to the respective goal that you have.
All right. Now, do you get many people who are dealing with I guess that have been injured or dealing with that are already dealing with some kind of pain? Like, you know what? I'll give you a perfect example myself. I recently upgraded the bow that I have, right? And the draw weight is supposed to be same from the same from the previous bow, but it's a lot more difficult drawing my bowstring back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I found, which is an issue I didn't have before my previous bow. I'm feeling, I'm not gonna say pain, but a certain level of discomfort, like up here in my shoulder.
Sure.
Now, is it because is the change in my bow now basically revealing a flaw in my form, or is it just I'm not strong enough to pull my that draw weight?
Let me clarify. You said that draw weight is now heavier for you. Is that
No,
correct?
it's the same draw weight as my previous bow, but for example, from what my bow tech told me when he set up my bow was that with it being a new bow, even though it's the same draw weight, and he checked it just to make sure it's the same draw weight,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's a little bit more difficult on a new bow, and it takes
Yeah.
a certain number of days to break it in, if you will. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I was wondering because, like I said, it's still more. It's still. I mean, it's getting easier, but at first it was a little bit more difficult to draw it back, and I found like I said, it was a certain level of discomfort I was
Yeah.
feeling in my shoulder. So now would that be from, like I said, now being that I was having that difficulty, is that something maybe in my form or just I wasn't strong enough to pull it back?
Yeah, it's a great question. A really good question, and I can tell you kind of thought through that a little bit. It's saying that you're not strong enough to pull it back is wouldn't be the right answer.
Mm,
Um, it's an interesting question because you would expect, hey, yeah, this draw weight's heavier, so now we're seeing the repercussions from that. But you're saying the draw
mm,
weight's the same, and you double check that.
mm,
My first thought is that the cams are drastically different. So if you look at
mm.
the bow, you're familiar with the cam, and different companies and manufacturers have different shapes of cams. Their cams mechanically function different so that the draw cycle where it starts out hard, gets increasingly harder, and then drops off at the end where the bow lets off. Those all those aspects can differ. So you can have two bows that are the same weight, but one feels harder and one feels easier because one has a more aggressive draw cycle and the other has a more comfortable or
Mm.
more gracious draw cycle, if you will. So that's one thought. The other thought is that I'd be curious of outside factors. Something as
Mm.
funny like, hey, you got a new bow, so you've been shooting it a lot more,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That could be potential. I know that that's what I would do, right?
Uh,
I got a new bow and I'm excited, and I'm now all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to the range 2, 3, 4 times a week, and I'm shooting twice the amount of arrows. So that's like an external factor that could be contributing. It's unlikely that your form has changed very much between bows, which is why I suggest the external factors,
all right.
because grips vary a little bit. Assuming your draw length is your draw length the same? Do you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Draw length is the same. You haven't changed your release.
No, not at all. Everything
Release.
did. Yeah, I basically transferred the site, everything from the old bow to the new bow. I could tell you right now the biggest difference between the two was I didn't even think about the cams, like you said, the way the draw cycle is, because it's a smoother draw cycle, but it's got a solid back wall. So like, which I wasn't accustomed to with my first bow. So like the first time I drew it, no lie, but I drew it back, and then it almost it pulled
Yeah,
me right
pull,
back
put back. Yeah,
because I didn't expect it to really stop back there.
right.
With my first bow, I brought it all the way back, and then I still had like half an inch to an inch of play after that. Whereas now, like it stops dead right there, and I
Yeah.
hadn't expected that, and it just went and then bounced right back.
Hmm.
So it's I hadn't thought of the cams. Is that something? What are, aside from that, are there other external factors that maybe somebody should consider when, if they are purchasing a new bow, and how that might affect them physically?
Yeah, it's a great question. Absolutely. So I'll start off that question by saying, and this is a huge principle in what we do in multiple avenues, but it's the idea that small changes really accumulate. And what I mean
Mm,
by that is, if you shoot one arrow with a drastically different bow, different draw cycle, different draw weight, different draw length, etc. If you shoot one or two arrows, that's like, being poked once or twice. It's not much. You're not going to feel it. You're not going to notice it.
mm,
But when you accumulate a lot of arrows, those small changes in the new bow are going to accumulate. And anything that is anything that is different in how you're drawing, shooting, holding, etc., is going to add up. In the sense that our bodies are very good at adapting at something we do consistently. So,
mm-hmm.
just as an example, you're probably familiar with Cameron Haynes,
Yes,
right?
I saw that post, and I think I know what you're about to reference.
Well, actually, probably something different in the fact that he runs a marathon. He had a point in time where he was running a marathon every day,
Wow.
or
Okay.
probably to what you're thinking of, he has a little bit of an unconventional draw.
Yes.
Both of those things, if you run a marathon a day or you draw a bow unconventionally consistently, body's very good at adapting to it. When you make slight changes in those systems, it it really presents itself in sometimes causing soreness and sometimes causing aches or pains or whatever you want to cause them, because you've changed something and then you've accumulated a bunch of shots. So in the metaphor I just made, where if I poke you once, it doesn't hurt. If I poke you twice, it doesn't hurt. But I sit here for an hour, and poke, and it starts to get irritating. It starts to get
Yeah.
annoying. So when you're purchasing a new bow, and why that's relevant is because even on a surface level or a visual level, even if there isn't all that much difference, if you shoot, we'll just pick an arbitrary number. If you shoot 50 arrows a day and you shoot 50 arrows a day 4 times a week, and you do that for 6 weeks, you can see the accumulation there. So keeping that in mind is really important when you're talking about, I've changed my draw weight, I've changed my draw length, I've changed maybe how I'm drawing, the release I'm using. Maybe I changed something technically as far as my grip, my shoulder position. Any of those factors, when they are changed, you're now throwing yourself out of that equilibrium or out of that consistency that your body has adapted to, and you may notice things such as the fatigue, aches, pains, whatever it might be.
Got it. Got it. All right. Well, that's good to know as well. Now, what's the biggest, I guess, mistake that I don't want to call it a mistake, or the biggest thing that you've seen that archers and hunters do that leads to injuries? Like, what is something? Because I've yet to hunt. My goal is to actually go out on my first hunt this fall.
Awesome.
Now, in preparing for that, what's the biggest piece of advice that you could give me or anyone new to archery, new to hunting, that a person can follow to avoid getting injured?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. And I will tell you, it's really challenging to narrow it down to one thing right off the bat. Um, I'll give you a couple things because I feel like I'm limiting the audience with just one. Yeah, and this is obviously my bias, but I think it's really important to be well prepared to handle a challenging physical task, meaning that somebody who's never run before is not going to go out and run a marathon. They need to prepare.
Hmm.
Or, someone who's never done a powerlifting competition isn't going to do real well if they walk up to a really heavy barbell and try to deadlift. It's going to cause issues. So what we stand for is really advocating that shooting a bow maybe once is not challenging physically, but shooting a bow multiple times over a long period of time um, is challenging for the joints, the tissues, and being well prepared is important. The second thing I would say is getting really up to par with the mechanics and positions in archery that are conducive and productive for avoiding pain, and they line up with how your body functions. Meaning, there are some styles and some techniques out there, and even sometimes people just aren't aware of the fact that certain positions are going to accumulate those irritations like we just talked about, and making sure that you're mechanically sound in the way you're drawing, the way you're holding is going to be really important. We obviously post a lot about that.
Hmm.
Knock on TV has
No, no, it's all right.
knock on knock on TV has some excellent um, resources on form. So that's another good place to check out. Where I really try to specialize in is in the mechanics and the physiology of archery. I try not to cross over into blatant archery technique
Okay.
because I am familiar with it. I shoot well. I work with others, but I consider my expertise to be in how the body handles shooting and how we can better improve that. So to summarize, make sure your body's ready uh, to,
Hmm.
to to handle all the shooting. Make sure that you're getting more familiar with the best positions and the best mechanics for drawing and shooting. Um, and then lastly is being mindful of what you're feeling, in the sense that if you are starting to feel issues or something doesn't feel right, or you're starting to feel something, some pain or irritation arise,
Hmm.
being mindful enough to address it, seek help, seek a different or a technique correction, but just being aware
All right.
and not stubborn enough or not being too stubborn to address it and to fix it, because a lot
Agreed.
of times it's if you're not aware of your shooting and you're not mindful and you're not reflecting on how you're feeling when you're shooting, how you're performing, and all of a sudden either poor performance is sneaking up on you, you're holding really poorly, you're punching the trigger, whatever it might be, or maybe all of a sudden your shoulder's really bothering you. All these different things can be prevented if you're just very mindful and reflective on your shooting and how things are going.
All right. Well, my next question is, there are tools out there, kind of like the AccuBow, right? Which is out there to help you develop strength and be mindful of your technique and such. Now, do you recommend tools like that, or would it be better, to utilize exercises and strength training kind of stuff that you recommend, or can there be a combination of the two?
Yeah, yeah. So I definitely think there should be and can be a combination. I think the AccuBoa product like that is an excellent accessory.
All right.
Um, it it can do a great job of allowing you to accumulate repetitions, especially when you're focusing on technique. It has some nice features on it as far as the way that the band accumulates tension, um, the way that you can hold an aim, the way that you can practice without having to worry about an arrow.
All right.
So it's a great accessory. Now, the thing that's really, really important to remember, and it's really one of the foundational reasons that I started Archery Strong, is that shooting a bow alone does not comprehensively prepare your joints and musculature to be well-rounded and able to handle the volume of shooting that most people should be doing or want to be doing. In the sense that if I'm a sprinter, okay, and all I do is hamstring work, that's all I ever do.
Mm.
You're going to create a lot of imbalances in the overall system, even though sprinting is a largely hamstring dominant activity or sport. Shooting a bow is the same way. If you only shoot a bow, yes, you're strengthening the muscles you need to shoot a bow, but you have to realize, like we said in the beginning, that the body is a machine, and you can't neglect parts and overly strengthen parts. You start to cause imbalances, and you start to cause inequilibrium or non-equilibrium in the system. So that's where it's important to lay a foundation of good, solid shoulder function. And then, like I said, add shooting your bow on top of that, or add work with the AccuBow on top of that. So
I'm glad you said that. You talked about creating an equilibrium, because my fear is sometimes that there are people out there that because let's say I'm right-handed, I don't want to make the mistake of thinking, all right, I've got to grab a dumbbell and exercise, with just my right arm, and that's it. And then all of a sudden, like, my right shoulder is all up here and muscular, and then my left shoulder isn't. So I guess because I personally am interested in your programs, so I guess maybe I'll ask a question or two about them that maybe even my followers would like to know. Your programs, are they something that should be done, primarily in a gym? Can they be done at home? Do they require a ridiculous amount of equipment like dumbbells and weights, or can it be strictly body weight?
yeah, great question. Real quick, before I answer that, I'm going to see if I can check my phone battery. I am nervous it's going to die.
No worries.
All right, I'm back. It looks like I got
All right.
6%, so I'm doing okay.
All right, not a problem. This
Go ahead
this
and
could
say
be,
that.
if you like, this could be the last, like, one or two questions, and then we could wrap
Hey,
it up, because I
let's
really appreciate you getting on with me.
yeah, absolutely. No, let's see what we can do, and just know that if I abruptly die here, that's what happened. Yeah, I'd be happy to answer as much as I can with the battery I've left. The programs are designed so that they can be accessible, and that's huge, because I was talking to a client the other day that you can have the best program in the world, but if it's not something that can be done consistently, then it doesn't matter, right?
Exactly.
So we've designed them to be accessible. Like I said before, we have two programs. The pain relief and injury prevention program can be done with one or two light bands. We recommend a couple from Amazon that are like $5, and then weights that go up to or around 20 pounds.
All right.
And as funny as it sounds, for those that don't have a couple dumbbells at home or don't have access, you can fill gallon milk jugs with either water or gravel or sand, and those all vary in weight. So those can be used for the whole program.
Nice.
So the point being that pain relief and injury prevention program is very accessible, and that's the way we designed it, because the number two most important factor to that program is consistency, with the number one most important factor being doing the program with quality, or the exercises with quality. So that program is very accessible. The performance archer is very similar in the fact that you just need a couple of light to medium bands, again, that can be purchased through Amazon for $5. But you do need a little bit heavier weights. We say up to about 40 or 50 pounds or so.
All right.
So, whether, you have a dumbbell, access to dumbbells that are like a hotel gym type of dumbbell rack, or
Got
the
it.
dumbbells that you can adjust work really well too. But to get some of the strength benefit and the strength gain, we need a little bit more weight. But besides that, they're very accessible to do at home, particularly that pain relief and injury prevention program. Like I said, we wanted to make it that way so that there was a low barrier to entry. So the goal is to help as many people as possible, to help as many archers as possible. So that's probably one of the most important things, besides the effectiveness of the program, obviously.
All right, copy that, and I definitely appreciate that, and I'm pretty sure my followers and your followers appreciate that as well. I guess my final question will be, can the programs be combined, or should they only be done one at a time? So like the
Mm-hmm.
injury prevention, now someone doing injury prevention shouldn't necessarily be doing performance archer at the same time, or can they be done at the same time?
Great question. They should definitely be done one at a time,
Okay.
because, as I mentioned earlier, the pain relief and injury prevention program focuses on shoulder function. So that really lays an excellent foundation for how the shoulders should move, the stability of the shoulders, the mobility of the shoulders, and overall shoulder mechanics and equilibrium there in that system in the
All
upper
right.
body. And then the performance archer does a really good job on expanding on that foundation of good function by adding in strength of the larger musculature and endurance of the larger muscular, and building more, we'll say brute kind of strength on top of the more fine detail work that you did in the previous program. So they were laid out that way intentionally. So the pain relief and injury prevention program comes first, performance archer comes second, and we haven't launched it yet. You're one of the first to hear about it, but we have a third program coming called the
Okay.
Advanced Archer, because we have a lot of people who really like the first and second program and want an additional option to continue forward with. So that just continues to expand as far as the complexity of movements, the difficulty of movements, and the progressive benefits of the program.
Got it. And how long is each program? Do they last 2, 3 months long, few weeks?
Each program is a month.
Not bad, not bad. If a person wanted to, can they just repeat a month, just if they weren't comfortable with what their results are, what they were looking for, just
Yeah.
double up?
Yeah, I had a guy just a few hours ago that he messaged me and said, "Hey, the performance archer program was awesome. I'm going on an elk hunt soon, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do the performance archer program again so that I can get really comfortable and confident with movements. And then after my elk hunt, I'm going to move on to that advanced archer, that next program." So yeah, we have a lot of people that do the program multiple times just out of interest because they like it or they felt great with it, or they want to get more comfortable and confident. Yeah.
All right, nice, nice. Well, listen, Christian, thank you very much. I know there was a little bit of scheduling issue, but I really appreciate you getting on with me this late.
Yeah.
Before we go, please tell everybody where they can find you, your website, everything like that.
Sure. Yeah. So we're post almost everything on Instagram at archery.strong. So the handle is archery.strong. And we do have a Facebook, but that's pretty much everything that stems from Instagram. The website is www.archery-strong.com. You can find out more about us, what the mission is, what the goal is, what programs look like, what we offer, why we offer it, how things work, all the fine details if you visit the website there. And we're going to keep the content coming. The ultimate goal I like to leave conversations with is that in my time in my life, which hasn't been that long, but in my life, archery has been one of the best teachers as far as how to be consistent, how to be disciplined, the lessons it teaches you, even into your character and the way that it can really refine you. It has so much to offer, especially bow hunting, that we don't want anyone to be limited by shoulder pain, shoulder injury, or poor performance. So this is an avenue that we can make sure people still have those experiences, can still enjoy the sport, and get the most out of it. So Thank you for coming on. Thank you for your patience with me. I apologize
No,
for
no worries.
the delay.
Thank you. Thank you
Glad we
for
got to connect.
same here. I just appreciate the information. I know I had a couple of followers who definitely wanted to kind of pick your brain just the way I did. Um, And that's basically it, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm definitely going to be looking more into the injury prevention program that you have,
Awesome.
because like I said, that little discomfort was kind of an eye opener for me,
Sure,
because
sure.
I had never felt that before. And the thing is, my profession, I'm a driver for UPS. I deliver packages
Yeah.
all day. I'm constantly lifting, heavy boxes and stuff like that. So I want to be able to, one, work productively, but then also shoot productively as well when I, in the evenings when I get my hands on my bow. All right. So
Absolutely.
thank you, Christian, for joining me, man. You have a
Thank
great
you.
night. All right.
Thank you. You do the same. Talk to you
All right.
soon.
Bye. All right, ladies and gents, ladies and gents, that was Christian Williams of Archery Strong. He had a little bit of scheduling issues, but he was able to join me late at like 10:30, you know what I'm saying, for when the hunt calls. I hope he was able to answer any questions that you may have had that were similar to mine. If not, I'm pretty sure you can follow him on Instagram. That's at archery.strong. And he's usually pretty cool about, replying. If you're not following him already, though, please do, because a lot of his content is not all of his content is really dope. It's really educational. Take a look at his website that he shared on there, and look into his programs as well, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of one of those myself. All right. So again, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you guys for sticking with me from the previous Instagram live. You know what I'm saying? That was awesome, because what was originally supposed to be the interview with Christian turned into a great conversation with a great bunch of people. So thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for joining me, sticking around or hopping back on the Instagram live and watching this interview with Christian Williams of Archery Strong. All right, you guys have a blessed night, and just remember, this interview will be available for the next 24 hours on Instagram, and then I will make it available for you guys on YouTube within the next day or so. All right. Again, have a blessed night, guys.